Well, here we are. It's been 6 years since I uploaded a video about this guitar to my tiny little YouTube channel. I recorded it in a little bedroom studio I had in a different house from where I am today. That video did surprisingly well. For my little YouTube channel, it's the biggest video I have. It's got over 44,000 views at the time of recording this follow-up 6 years later. So, in celebration of that, I thought I would answer some of the questions because there have been many of them. I'm going to get my phone out now because there's so many of them and I'm not really sure where to begin. So here we go. Recently somebody said they tried one of the originals, which I guess would be this guitar, and they didn't like it. They didn't like the neck, they didn't like the pickup. Okay, so the guitar wasn't for you. But they tried the new one. I mean, this guy goes on and on and on. I guess he measured it with digital calipers, this whole thing. Dude, okay, I'm glad you finally found one that meets your rigorous standards. There's been some comments on my playing that were very positive from folks. Thank you so much. Back then I was still kind of finding my voice as a guitar player. Compression, when I listen back now, compression was a big part of my sound. I have a lot less compression now. I'll get to that in a minute. People are saying they had like Mexican Strats that upgraded to classic vibes that never look back. That's cool. A lot of people want to know where I got the Pickguard. At this point, I couldn't tell you who the exact seller was. I bought it on eBay. I remember that clearly. It was like $15 and it took, I don't know, a couple of weeks to get here from China. When I got it, it had holes by the neck pickup and I couldn't make the original screws work with these holes. So I left it, figuring maybe someday I'll change it, but I never did, and I probably never will. Honestly, right now, it kind of, when I look at this, it sort of reminds me that, 12 years ago, a $15 pickguard was a significant investment for me. You never forget where you came from. Same as the fact I didn't have enough money to have the proper screws. I kind of salvaged different stuff I had around, so these screw heads all are mismatched. Oh well. A lot of people want to know if I've changed anything since then. Okay, so I changed the saddles to compensated brass ones. I think these are Wilkinson, but they might be hip shot. I can't remember. They were fairly affordable. I was doing a session where I needed a little bit more control over the intonation and farther up the neck. Wanted everything to ring just a little bit more cleanly, so I changed those out. I don't think it really matters all that much. Maybe it helped me a little. They are brass instead of the steel that was on the guitar. I think maybe I hear that a little bit of a difference, not much. That's just kind of going to be a personal thing. You're either going to hear all those nuances between steel and brass or you're not. I need to probably stop right here and say that I am not an electric guitar purist, obviously. I'm a player first when it comes to the electric guitar. Now, when it comes to acoustic guitar, I'm about as big a snob as you'll ever meet. But electric guitars to me are very simple machines. To me, it was just a way to make money. When I moved to Florida in 2013, I knew I'd probably be joining a cover band. And playing in a cover band meant that I needed to do whatever the work was. And I knew a Telecaster could get it done. That's why I bought this guitar. It was $199 at Guitar Center used. It was all beat up. I took it home, did a little bit of setup work on it, changed to flat wound strings. That's been my signature sound now ever since. As far as finding your own Pearl Pickguard, look on Amazon. There's plenty of various options now. It seems like when I looked, there's stuff that actually says it fits this guitar. It might not even have the holes. That being said, there are some things about this guitar that I would change now. Um, you know, these pots are starting to get a little bit of a crackle to them. Um, I'm not as in love with this bridge pickup as I used to be. Now, I haven't bothered to change it yet. What I have done is learn to adjust the tone knob just a little bit more. But I've also changed my picking hand to compensate when I'm on a bridge pickup. That's helped more than probably a pickup change would. Right now it's not microphonic. It just does seem to be a little bit brash, and it was that way before I changed the saddles. So take that as you will. I think it's more or less my tastes have changed. Um, it is what it is. Some other comments. Different people saying things. You know, some folks are saying that they really like my playing. Some folks are saying I take too long to say very little. You know, it was 6 years ago and I didn't really know how to talk to a camera yet. I wasn't comfortable in my own skin as a musician back then in comparison to who I am now. I sure wasn't comfortable on camera. I was trying to generate some content. I was trying to see if I could get any kind of traction. This first video about this guitar took off more than anything else I've ever done. So, you know, I was maybe ahead of where I wanted to be making that video. There's a few other questions here. Somebody asking, what are my pedals? I should do a whole video just about my board. My pedals are not anything to write home about. Right now, I'm using a Joyo American Sound overdrive pedal. A VSN tape delay I got off of Amazon for like 37 bucks. And I've got a harmonic trim from JHS 3 Series. Put all that together and it's not a lot of money. But I need to make a new board. This one is actually way oversized. I'm not even going to show it on camera because it's so ugly. But yeah, I'm not a purist about pedals. It's just kind of the thing that I have to use to get the sound, to get the gig. So we'll do another thing about pedals, and I'll kind of show my minimalist setup at some point. Somebody said, hey, and you know, wow, a normal person. Congrats on your marriage to a female. Yay! Okay. Well, that marriage didn't last. But thank you. Somebody else said, so your lady made you sell your collection. Tisk, tisk. No, nobody made me sell my collection, but the reality was I had a lot of junky guitars and I needed gas money to get to Florida. So I sold off what wasn't nailed down. I upgraded what I could. This guitar kind of came out of the ashes of that sort of downsizing. I still have the guitar. I don't have the marriage. Some things just change that way. Let's see here. That one's in Spanish. Something about excellent choice. The translation is kind of rough. Somebody says the early Squiers CV are magical, especially with rosewood fingerboards. I'm a sucker for 90s to 2010 Asian-made rosewood guitars. Yeah, I'm not going to argue. You know, when these guitars came out, there wasn't really anything out there this good at this price point. And I think this forced the hand of every other major guitar manufacturer to make better instruments. Fender really kind of put a flex on a bunch of different makers, and they might have gotten passed up. I have not played too many other electric guitars since I got this. Every now and then I'll play something. To be honest though, I haven't even played the revamped versions of these. Some question somewhere in the lineup here was asking that. You know, I have this guitar. I like it, so I haven't really changed too much. I do have another Telecaster that will be another video because it's a whole other story. But I don't go into Guitar Center or somewhere and pull down the current version of this to see if I like it better. I have this one. If something happens to it, maybe I'll look for another one. You know, that's just where I'm at. So. The biggest thing that's changed in the last 6 years, really, as far as my sound is concerned, is that I'm now running a Blackface Princeton reverb instead of a Super Champ X2. The Super Champ X2 served me very well. My first one took a few too many hits on the road. It eventually gave out. I replaced it with another one. And I think at some point I had upgraded the speaker to a Raging Cajun. That was a great setup. I had no problems with it. I was using a patch that had a compressor on it, and I kind of learned that I was leaning into that compression a little too much. And now I don't have that. I've just got the Princeton, which is just out of camera right behind me here. But I had a great opportunity to get this amp. There was a shop here in town that was getting rid of their Fender dealership, so they were liquidating their inventory, and I got a brand new one still in the box for used prices, and I was even able to just lay it away and kind of work it off with the shop, doing some videos for them. So, you know, that's the biggest upgrade to my sound overall, was upgrading the amp, taking all the compression off of my sound. And yeah, that's really, I think the only thing I could say that has significantly changed in the last 6 years, aside from who I am as a player, the kind of gigs I'm taking now versus then. I'm doing more session work. I'm doing less bar gigs where you're just expected to run out and stand and deliver that honky-tonk sound. I don't really have any more questions that I feel like answering. There's a lot of people just telling me their experiences with the guitar. So, man, when I made this little video, I did not think that I would be addressing, you know, almost 45,000 views and all these hundreds of questions and comments and just the sheer outpouring of people saying, yeah, hey, I'm right there with you. It was really cool. All right, I think that's pretty much it. You know, I'm going to do more about the guitars that I use. Most of my stuff is actually acoustic. That's really my primary place in the musical world as an acoustic musician. This is kind of an anomaly in the story arc of my musical career, is that I play this cheap $200 used Classic Vibes Telecaster. So stick around if you like acoustic stuff. Stick around if you like my kind of music. You know, I know all the big YouTubers say, like, you know, click like and subscribe. Or as one of the guys I follow, I can't remember who it was first said this, but it's stuck in my head, is like that smash button. Check out my music. All the links are down below. Of course, where else would they be? I will see you guys in the next video. That really sounds weird to say too, though. You'll see me in the next video. I may never see you. I'm going to play you guys out because this is getting awkward and I don't really have anything else to say to you. Thank you so much for all the views and all the encouragement over the years. Thank you guys so much. I hope you're doing well.